How are we all doing today, lads? It is your favorite mums here. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. So, we have got a video for you today all about Black Friday. Now, I thought I'd bring this out because obviously the earlier the better, guys. What I want to talk about today is just about how the market's going to move leading into Black Friday and how you can prepare for it a little bit in terms of, when to sell your team, maybe a couple little investments you can get now beforehand. But mainly it's going to be about like how the market's going to move and basically the best time to sell your team or sell players that you're holding. I get asked this question a lot, depending on what kind of players people have, should I be selling them? When should I sell them? So we're going to go through that right now. I might even be selling some players in my team. All right. So let's go straight into it. And I'm going to show you guys some graphs from FIFA 20. So as you guys can see here, this is FIFA 20 players right here. So this is Neymar from FIFA 20. As you can see up here. Now, what I want to show you guys is basically the graphs of these cards and how they moved leading up to Black Friday. So right now we are 2 weeks out from Black Friday, guys. Black Friday is on the 27th of November. It is the 13th today. So it is 2 weeks exactly out from Black Friday. Now, quickly, I've said this before, but I will show you the graphs. And how I've kind of explained it is the market is generally between now, this is where it starts to dip because what you have is you have a pre-panic to Black Friday. So if you don't know what Black Friday is, basically, we just get a lot of lightning rounds. It's not really a big promo. We don't get like discounted packs or anything like that. It's basically we get flash SBC. So like every hour we get like a different SBC. So there's a lot of pack supply from SBCs, but also we get lightning rounds. So 100K lightning rounds. If you don't know what lightning rounds are, basically EA drop up like 100,000 100K packs and they just stay there until they're all gone. So basically all 100,000 100K packs get opened. Then the hour later they open like 100,000 of 50K packs and they stay there until they're all gone. And trust me, they all sell out. So you can imagine how many packs are being opened in big boy packs. So a lot of cards are being packed, guys. So basically that's going to affect the market. And then you normally have a pre-drop. So you have the drop leading up to this event because everyone knows it's coming and everyone starts panic. So people start panic selling their teams and panic selling everything in the lead up to this promo. So therefore the market actually normally dips lower before the event. So what you actually find usually is the market for some of the meta, not really the low tier cards, they just get killed. Your 81 rated, your 82 rated, your 83 rated, your 80 rated, your meta cards, they just get smashed down, they get killed. But then your really top tier cards, your Varans, your Van Dijks, your Kantes, for instance, of this year, what you'll probably see with them and what would have happened last year with those cards is they actually dropped lowest before Black Friday in the pre-crash, and then they actually rebounded back up once Black Friday actually came. So I'm going to show you here anyway, guys. So I've got a few different cards here. So we've got two top-end cards in Neymar and Kylian Mbappe. I've got an inform, like a good inform at the time, in Griezmann to show you how cards that are out of packs might move. I've got Virgil van Dijk as well, who was a top-end card. And then I've got like, a Dries Mertens, who was like a middle-tier meta card. And then, you've got Fabinho and Dembele, who are very meta cards, but they're obviously lower rated, 84, 85 rated. So they're a bit lower rated. So I'm going to show you guys how these cards move. Now, with your Neymars or your Mbappes, usually these cards are too rare to really drop. You're going to find that these cards might dip a little bit with the pre-panic, just with people selling off because they're worried. But come the actual event, they'll probably rebound back up. So these are the kind of cards I don't think you have to sell. If you want to sell them, could you get them? Could you sell them and then buy them back maybe a bit cheaper? Yeah, you probably could go a little bit, get them back a bit cheaper. But obviously you got to pay all the tax. It means you're not going to be using these players in your team for the next 2 weeks for weekend league, which is obviously probably going to cost you rewards and things like that. So that's the decision I have to make for my team because I've got Mbappe and Neymar. I'm thinking I'm just going to hold them and take whatever loss happens from them. I'll probably make it back just from the games I play with them anyways. All right. But as you can see here, guys, so right now it is the 29th of November is when Black Friday was last year, which is right there. Okay. Now, we are 2 weeks prior, so that is the equivalent of today. That is the equivalent of today. So as you can actually see, look, this card actually rises higher through Black Friday. So look, that's where we are exactly right now today. Has its little weekend league drop-off on Sunday, but then it rises into the next weekend league. Then you see a nice drop-off again. this is the pre-panic really here for this card. So you see about a, what's that? About a 70k drop, 60, 70k drop. But then it rebounds kind of back up. You know, it doesn't go back as high as it was. It was 1109. It goes back up to 1080. But once again, if you're selling your card and buying it back with tax, you're losing more than the difference is anyway. So that's why, you know, obviously things happen differently this year. I actually think these cards could drop a little bit more than they did last year. But still, I think I will just be holding mine through, all right? But yeah, obviously these cards that are similar to these would be it's mainly the big ones. Your Neymar, your Ronaldo, your Mbappe. You know, they guys are kind of the same. They're the ones that are kind of, and your icons, your top-end icons. They're the ones that are kind of immune to this crash a little bit. So once again, this is where we are right now. Today is right there, Friday the 15th of November. It's the equivalent of this year, of today. You actually do see a little bit of a drop in this card, but once again, nothing too much that would worry me in terms of having to sell. So this card was 1031. Going into the next Friday, he's 1017, so pretty much the same price. Then you see a drop off. This is the week prior with weekend league sell-off. And then he rises back up to about, 970 or so like that, so 970. So even the difference between here, he was at his higher point around here, he was only just above a mil, and then he rose back up to 970. So it was only a 30, 40k difference between, after Black Friday or once Black Friday event started compared to before Black Friday. So once again, it's up to you guys if you want to sell these cards. I don't think it's a necessity to sell your Mbappes, your Neymars, your Ronaldos if you're using them in your team. The main reason is just they're so rare. The people that are normally using these players aren't worried about coins as much, so you don't see them panic selling these kind of cards as much. That's why there's not as much pre-panic drop in these cards. So yeah, like I said, it's up to you guys, but if you do want to sell them, I would look to get out either this week, today, probably. Otherwise, I think next week on Friday. After that, they probably will go down a little bit. All right, so that's those two cards. Next, you've got like an Inform, okay? So this was an Inform Griezmann of last year. Obviously, a very nice card. A position change from his normal card. So it was just a very meta card for an Inform, and he was out of packs. So this kind of shows you, or I will show you. Let me just quickly get closer to the date. I can show you guys a bit more in depth. So there you go. So right here on the 29th, that is Black Friday when it starts. Prior to that, that is today right here. So as you can see as well, you're seeing the main drop be a week before. So as you see, this card's 417 today. Kind of just, fluctuates a little bit. Nothing too special. It goes back up to 430 next. That's, the week after, a week before Black Friday. And then you see the drop. But as I said to you guys, man, this is what you're going to see a lot with a lot of cards, like these meta cards. You're going to see a drop, and this is where we're going to make money investing. You're going to see a drop in the pre-panic. So he drops down to what does he drop down to here, guys? Like 370. And then Black Friday comes right here. And then you see him bounce back up to 415. So, you see a 40k difference between his lower point here and his higher point. So we will be seeing that in a lot of cards with the rebound back. It's normally what happens. The pre-panic, it goes really low. They rebound back into like Black Friday a little bit. Then sometimes they dip again and then they rebound again. So there's always a couple opportunities, guys. But once again, this kind of shows that, these cards seem to be dropping the most. The weekend league sell-off the week before, which is next weekend league sell-off. So not this weekend league, the next one. That Sunday night, Monday is seeming to be where most of these cards are dropping the most. But getting out this week would probably be the safe move. So like I'm saying, if you do want to sell your cards and you do want to sell your team, I would be looking to get out this week, probably today. If you really, really want to, you could probably hold into next weekend's league. But then I'd be selling then. After that, you're going to be taking hits on your cards. All right. Van Dijk, exactly the same thing, guys. I don't want to bore you, so I'll quickly do this quickly. Once again, this is the equivalent of today. This is why I say early, because some cards drop. So look, this was the equivalent of today. So right now, this card's 606. Drops a bit to 580. And then that's the following Friday. That's a week before. And that's where he takes his big hit. Takes like a 50k dip. And then, like I said, guys, he rebounds back. Back up to 620. So once again, you know, it's up to you guys. But, you know, a lot of people, obviously, if you really, really want to be efficient with your coins, selling now, using a cheap team for 2 weeks. If you had a Van Dijk and you sold him at this point last year, you would have sold him for 606. You could have bought him back down here for 550. And then before he rose back up to 620. So he actually went higher a week after Black Friday than what he was at today's date, basically. All right. Now, I'll skip that. Let's go to the cheaper cards now. Because they're the high tier cards. Basically, guys, my opinion with the high tier cards is I wouldn't sell. I'm not going to sell my Neymar or my Mbappe probably, or my Ronaldo. In terms of your Varans, your Kantes, Van Dijks, that tier of cards, I think you can sell those, but that's up to you. I think those cards will drop a bit, but then I don't think they're going to drop a lot. The Van Dijks, the Varans, the Kantes, because those cards are still top-end meta. You know, they're not as high as your Neymars and stuff, but they're still top-end. So once again, you can sell those. You will be able to save yourself some money if you sell them, but if you can't be bothered or you just want to use your team, I don't think you're going to be taking like insanely big losses on those cards if you do hold for the next 2 weeks through Black Friday. This is where you're going to be taking losses though. Your 85s, your 84s, your 83s, your 82s, these cards are going to get smashed, okay? They're not as rare. They're mid-tier metas and they're just going to get hit. So if I want me to give you examples of this year, cards like, you know, Walker, Saint Max, Mendy, Gomez, 83 rated Gomez, you know, 85 rated Longley. I mean, the list goes on, guys. You know, your Davies, your 81 Davies, you know, these kind of cards, your 84 Ben Yeddas, your Ousmane Dembele's, your Sons, okay? These cards are going to get hit a lot harder. One, because they're not at that top end of the meta. And two, because they are lower rated as well. So already there's not I was going to swear, better not. Already there's not a massive amount of demand for them, okay? So like they're demanded, but they're not hugely demanded. They're not as demanded as your Kantes and things like that. So demand's not as high. And then because they're not as high rated, they're lowish rated, supply is going to be going really, really high, right? Also, you're going to get a lot of people have that tier of player in their team, your Wijnaldums, your De Jongs, and they're going to be panic selling them. So this can show you Fabinho. So as you guys can see here, this is November 29th right there. So that is when Black Friday started. This is where we're at right now. Right here. So this card was, this is the equivalent of today. This card was 41,000 coins on Friday. And then just pretty much every day, this card just drops into Black Friday from here. 38, 33, 32, boom, boom, boom. So he goes from 41 down to 24. He nearly halved in price between now and Black Friday, in that 2 weeks leading up to Black Friday. Same with Ousmane Dembele, pretty much did the same thing. 29th is right there. We are right here. 2 weeks, exactly 2 weeks. He peaked at 2 weeks before, 40K. And then every day he just drops. And by the 29th, he was 17. He went from 40 to 17K. And that's what you're going to see for most of your lower rated cards, guys. All right. So my opinion here is, once again, this is always up to you guys what you want to do. I'm not telling you you have to do these things. But your 83 Gomez's, your Mendy's, your Saint Max's, your Davies, your De Jongs, you know, all these cards that are like 85, 84, 83 rated, 82 rated, 81 rated, that are just like mid-tier meta, you know? So they're meta cards, obviously, but they're not like right at your top end. They are going to get smashed down pretty hard, okay? So they're the kind of cards I would probably be getting out of and going cheaper. Your middle tier meta cards, your Varans, your Kantes, so your really demanded cards, but they're not like, you know, the top end, but they're pretty much there. Those cards will dip. Usually you find those dip not 2 weeks before, they normally dip the week before. So you could hold through this week, but if you want to be safe, I'd be selling them again today. But those ones aren't going to lose as much. And then your high tier cards, your Neymar, Mbappe, Ronaldo, they are actually pretty good. They might drop a little bit, but if you plan on buying them back, then the tax difference probably isn't even worth it anyways. All right, guys. So that's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to help you guys with. I guess another quick tip as well, I mentioned this in my last video, but Black Friday, we usually get a best of team of the week. It usually needs an 83 rated squad, so stocking up on discard 83 rated is always a really, really easy investment for that. And then I'll be bringing out more videos, guys, because this was just more of a preparing yourself in terms of your team so you don't lose a bunch of money. In the following weeks, as we get closer, we'll start showing you some investment methods and how you can invest and make money in the pre-panic. All right, guys. Anyways, I hope this video helped. If it did, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.